depending on where you're watching from. How are you doing today? Welcome to. We're here for a very important topic. Okay, we're here again for our stress series. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to manage stress. How to manage stress. Have you been stressed before? How do you manage stress? Have you been stressed before? How were you able to manage it? Let's know on the comment section, okay? Let's discuss tonight how to manage stress. Excuse me. How do you manage stress? Let's talk. So, have you been stressed? First question. Have you been stressed before? How do you manage stress? Oh my goodness. How do you manage stress is the question. So, have you been stressed before? If yes, how do you manage it? How are you able to manage your stress? How are you able to cope with stress? How are you able to come out from stress? We've been talking about stress, and stress. So, we're talking about stress. I have what do they call it on my playlist to visit my channel. You see playlist or stress series. You can watch that particular series and on how to manage stress. Okay, sorry, we have different we've actually discussed on what stress is, how then the effect of stress on humans, and then today we are talking about how to manage stress. Okay, stress is actually inevitable, like I said in other videos. Stress are inevitable because on day-to-day basis we all encounter stress and we cannot do without stress. There's no way you can cope as human without stress. Okay, you cannot. There's nothing you can do that as a person you won't meet stress. Even as a child, a student, everyone encounters stress at one point or the other. And there are so many things that can cause you having stress. Yes, a lot of things. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Live Chat with Nesbel D. How are you doing? Say hello on the comment section. Let me welcome you officially to my live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Hello. Welcome to Live Chat with Nesbel D. Okay, so today we have a very important topic at hand. How do you manage stress? As a person, have you been stressed before? If yes, how are you able to manage it? How did you cope with the stress? How are you able to come out of stress? Let's talk tonight. It's talking time, it's chatting time. See, let's talk, okay? Let's talk tonight. How do you manage stress as a, and I said stress is inevitable. Visit my playlist, okay? You'll see the series on stress, what stress is, causes of stress, types of stress, signs and symptoms of stress, effect of stress. And tonight we are talking about how do you manage stress. And as a person, let's talk, it's discussion time. Have you been stressed before? If yes, how are you able to cope with the stress? How are you able to come out of stress? I said stress inevitable because at one point or the other we all encounter stress. Okay, we all encounter stress at one point or the other. Even as a child you encounter stress because there are so many factors that can cause stress. Okay, um trying to meet up with timeline, tight schedule as a student preparing for exams. Okay, a lot of things, tight work overload, a lot of things can cause stress to humans. As such, there's no human on earth that will say that I've never had stress in his or her life. No one will say I have not had stress. So stress is inevitable. In order, while striving for a better life, while striving for a better job, while seeking for opportunity, while hustling, while running to make your business grow better and do well, you encounter stress at one point or the other. Hello, can you say hello? Say hello, say hello. Let's talk tonight. How do you manage stress? As a person, have you been stressed before? If yes, let's talk. How are you able to cope with it? How did you manage stress? We all encounter stress, like I said, but how you manage this stress matters a lot because we all have different threshold. We have different coping threshold. So what stresses me might not stress you, and my own level of coping with stress might be different from yours, but it all boils down to how you were able to manage it. And my previous video live stream, I encourage you to visit my playlist. I also mentioned that stress makes some persons to add weight, while some persons like me, I will drop within a short time. So we all have different coping mechanism. Now, have you been stressed? If you have been stressed, how are you able to cope with the stress? Let's talk. Thank you so much for the love. Okay, I appreciate. Please endeavor to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. Please say hello to me in the comment section. Let me appreciate you for joining me. If you don't say hello, I already know you joined me. So please say hello. So I will welcome you officially to Nurse Baptist channel. All right. Okay, so stress is inevitable. We all encounter stress at one point or the other. No human being on earth will say, I have not had stress, I have not been stressed, I have not encountered stress. In your place of work, sometimes as a result of a shortage of manpower, work overload exposes you to stress. Most times, trying to beat up a tight schedule, it exposes you to stress. Sometimes you have a job quotation to make or application for a job interview, and the preparation towards it exposes you to stress. But stress is short term and long term. Yes, we have chronic stress and acute stress. You can watch that on my playlist on stress series. Okay, we have that. So stress falls in between short term stress and long term stress. And when you're preparing for exam as a student, reading, that one falls under short term stress because once you're done with your exam within that period of 1 week or 2 weeks, that stress is gone. It's short term. Okay, and then someone else also that is trying to beat up with his or her tight schedule, that one falls under short term stress too. Okay, now you're relocating to a new environment, trying to settle down is also a short term stress. That is acute stress. But then we have the chronic stress. Chronic stress, just as the name implies, it lingers. Chronic stress lingers for a longer time, and that is chronic stress or long-term stress. That long-term stress, people like cases like someone that had a divorce case, broken engagement. When one has a heartbreak, it's not easy to come out of it. So it falls under chronic stress. Or someone that lost his or her job, you're under pressure trying to meet up with family demand, trying to meet up with the environment you find yourself, trying to fit in within your friends, your circles again after losing your job. It's not easy to get job, but within that period, sometimes it take up to 6 months, sometimes 1 year. Especially like somebody that lost his or her husband, loss of a loved one. Thank you so much for the like. Please, can you say hello? Say hello in the comment section. Let me welcome you, okay? Say hello, say hello, say hello. Let me welcome you. Thank you for the double tapping, okay? So, one that loses his or her spouse or loved one, that falls under a long-term stress. Is a chronic stress because it takes a longer time to heal from a broken engagement, broken relationship, loss of a loved one, or loss of a job. It takes a longer time to get healed. Or someone that has been ill for some time, some illness lasts a longer time. So that falls under a longer stress, a chronic stress, or and long-term stress. Okay, I have those series well detailed on my stress series playlist. I encourage you to watch those series. You also know how what stress is, types of stress, causes of stress, signs and symptoms of stress, effect of stress on human. And then today is how do you cope with stress? And like I said, stress is inevitable. We all encounter stress, but how you manage it as a person is what matters. Stress can pull you down, stress can wear you down, stress can make you or mar you, stress can expose you to a whole lot of health issues, health challenges if it is not properly managed. Hence this topic for you, so that you will know how to manage stress to fit in into your lifestyle. That you're working, that you're a nursing mother, doesn't mean that a nursing mother or a family woman trying to make to meet up with your family demand shouldn't the stress shouldn't wear you down. What matters most is knowing what exposes you to stress and how to manage them is what matters. So stress is inevitable, but you need to know how to prioritize them in order to fit in or to stay safe and to maintain your sanity and your mental health. Because if stress is not well managed, if it is not properly dealt with, your mental health, your mental status, your mental state will be affected. Have you heard some persons going insane? Yeah, having some mental challenges as a result of too much of stress. Yes, stress can make or mar you. Stress exposes some persons to some mental health challenges because they can't cope with some stress that they are being exposed to. That is why you see some persons getting depressed, and the cause of depression, if not well managed, they run into a mental challenge because of poor stress management strategy. So stress is inevitable. It's part of our life. It's part of our daily activities. Even on daily basis as human preparing to go to work. Greetings, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on your time zone. How are you doing? Thank you for joining this live stream. Have you been stressed before? How do you manage? How are you able to cope with stress? As a married woman, family woman, mother of children, okay, a lot of you are exposed to a lot of demands from the house, meeting up with the family chores, meeting up with the workload in the house, and especially if you're also a working class mother or you have a business, you're self-employed and you're running those business. So it takes proper stress management to cope with them. If not, it will lead to mental breakdown, which is not good for your health. And I most times I tell people that if you don't find one day to rest, your body someday will choose when you're supposed to rest for you, and you wouldn't want to like it. So why not learn how to manage stress? Learn how to manage stress so that you can stay safe and still being active. Let me tell you something. It's only the living that can manage stress. Once you're gone, if you don't manage your stress, if you don't manage stress properly, and you fall ill and anything happens to you, life continue. So, and once you're gone, you cannot be able to stand to say this is what happens to me or manage how to manage stress. But as much as you can, try to manage your stress properly. So now, how do you manage stress? Okay, and we have them sometimes when you have deadlines, exams, relationship breakdown, and a lot of house chores piling up, a lot of office work. Maybe you have a deadline to meet up, or you have a target that you've been given. Maybe as a salesperson, you've been given a target to beat within a short period of time. Okay, this exposes you to stress, and this stress is just temporal. Okay, so how do you cope with stress? The first thing you have to do to know how to manage stress is one, learn, practice deep breathing exercise. Breathing and relaxation is very, very important. Practice deep breathing and relaxation. Okay, Deep breathing exercise and relaxation. Deep breathing helps to relax your nerves. It helps in lungs expansion. It helps in adequate blood circulation, adequate blood flow to your heart, and then it also helps to calm your nerves, your muscles. So when you engage in deep breathing exercise periodically, just make it a habit. You might think they are not useful, but I can tell you that deep breathing exercise is very, very important. When you take air, okay, and you sustain it for a little time, and then you breathe out, it helps to calm your nerves. It helps to adequate lung expansion, okay, because when you take in air, you are actually helping your lungs to take in more oxygen, thereby aiding adequate expansion to your lungs. So deep breathing exercise helps in lung expansion, it helps in muscle relaxation, it helps in adequate blood flow to your heart, and then it helps to calm your nerves. So practice deep breathing exercise. Hello, say hello now, say hello, say hello. Let me see who is here with me. I'm having 4 persons. Can you say hello? Say hello, say hello, say hello. Let's talk, okay? Let's talk. If you don't say hello, I wouldn't know you joined me, okay? So please say hello and don't fail to like this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please endeavor to do that and stay connected to news of this channel for more health information. So deep breathing exercise is very, very beneficial to you. So in order to practice, in order to manage your stress properly, periodically, not periodically, just make deep breathing exercise a lifestyle. Okay, make it a lifestyle. Practice deep breathing exercise and then relaxation techniques. Okay, you might not be sleeping, you might fall asleep, you might not feel like sleeping, but find time to rest body, lie on your bed, even if sleep is not coming, endeavor to lie stretch, relax, okay, take deep breathing exercise, find time to relax, stretch your body, stretch your bones, stretch your muscles. If you have a flat surface, you can lie in there. If you have swimming pool, you can stay in there, but by all means find time to rest. Okay, relax. When you rest, you will be able to recuperate, you'll be able to regain your physical strength while helping to shaping your internal organs. Okay, because stress can break you down. Stress exposes you to a lot of health challenges. Stress weakens your immunity. You can find that on my channel, okay, on stress series, okay. That is effect of stress. A lot of things are being said there, so please endeavor to watch that video. So stress will help to break you down. So periodically endeavor to find time to rest, find time to relax, then practice deep breathing exercise, and by so doing you'll be able to relax and then prepare for the next activity again. Then the second way to manage stress is get moving. Okay, anything that you know that makes you happy, anything that gives you joy, anything that gives you excitement, get moving, get them doing it. When you practice exercise, engage in physical exercise. Okay, engage in physical exercise. When you engage in physical exercise and doing those things that makes you happy, activities that you love most, like going for cinema, partying, swimming pool, going for swimming, okay, anything, yoga, anything that you know that gives you joy, and having time with loved ones, catching fun, going to cinema, swimming, those things. Engage in exercise, okay? May practice exercise, okay? Can do it indoor exercise, even though you don't have much of time. 5-10 minutes. Uh, Please just give me a minute. Let me pick a call, okay? Hello? Hello? How far? I'm okay. Which of them? Yeah. Please, can I call you back? Yes. I'll call you back shortly. Thank you. Okay. Money, you actually off my, as you left now, all my this thing disconnected. So are you back now? Can I on them? Okay, so what I'm saying is that anything that gives you joy, engage in physical activity, physical exercise. So don't say you don't have to use your time. 10, 15, 20 minutes of your day. Is that still like, I go reach outside, I don't go know. I mean, they don't take lights now. Okay, so 10, 15 minutes of your day engaging in physical exercise will go a long way to shaping you and to help you manage some stress, to manage stress. Okay, so anything that gives you joy, do them. Engage in exercise like stretching, like jogging, like running, like taking brisk walk. Okay, you can actually walk around your vicinity 10, 15 minutes every day is a good way to manage stress. So any activity, is it swimming, indoor exercise, outdoor exercise, going for partying, going for um occasion, having fun with family members, get together with loved ones, anything that you know that gives you joy, it's worth doing. And by so doing, it will help you to manage stress. Okay, so exercise is a very good way to help you cope with stress. It's not connected yet. All right, so that's the second way to manage stress. And then the third thing that you can do, the third thing to help you manage stress is prioritize self-care. Very, very prioritize self-care. You matter a lot. You are the best friend to yourself. The best person that can take care of you is you. So prioritize self-care. Make time for things that brings you joy. Prioritize self-care. If it's reading, if it's listening to music, if it's taking a relaxing break, if it's going for swimming, prioritize self-care. Anything that you know that you can do for yourself. Okay, sometimes spend time for yourself. Give yourself some treats. Take yourself out. Take yourself to some eateries. Give yourself some treats once in a while. It's worth it. You worth the time. You worth giving attention. You matter a lot. So you are the best person that can take care of yourself. So prioritize self-care. If you do that, let me know. Yeah? Okay. So you are the best person that can take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will. So it's essential that you learn to manage stress by prioritizing self-care over every other thing. Okay? Remember that you are the first love to yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't give it out. That's just it. Even the Bible says that love your neighbor the way you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, you cannot love your neighbor. Yes. So self-care is paramount. Self-care is essential. Self-care is vital in handling stress. If you must manage your stress properly, then you have to manage you have to prioritize self-care over every other thing. Self-care matters. Yes, it matters a whole lot. You matter to yourself. So endeavor to prioritize self-care over every other thing. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. You are the only one that can do it. You are the only one that can give yourself that love and attention. So endeavor to prioritize self-care. It matters in helping you to manage stress. You actually need um, to prioritize self-care over every other thing. Self-care is paramount. Self-care is essential. Self-care is needed. So anything that gives you joy from time to time, love yourself. Anything that that you can do that will make you happy. Buying clothes for yourself, taking yourself out, giving yourself some luxury treatments, taking yourself to spa, giving yourself some pedicure, some manicure, so anything that makes you look good, you want it. Yes, you want it. Is that the network? Is it because it's far? I don't know. I'm not really getting it, okay? So you want the care, you want the time, you want all the treatment, you matter a lot, you matter to yourself. So make time for things that brings you joy. If it is reading, that gives you joy. If it's listening to music, if it's dancing, if it's taking a relaxing bath, if it's sleeping, give yourself 1 hour 2 hours of sleep for the day is very, very important. Periodically, anytime you feel like sleeping is telling you that your body needs some rest. Okay, I'm not talking about sleeping when you're supposed to go to work. Okay, so endeavor to give yourself that care you need. Prioritize self-care over every other thing. And then the next point is connect with others. Yes, very, very important. Sometimes when you are alone, you're exposed to loneliness. When you're exposed to loneliness, most times depression comes in. Sometimes some negative thoughts, negative mindset, negative belief sets in, they cripple in when you're just alone and then you have nothing to keep you company. It's is not a good one. So from time to time, you need to engage, okay, connect with others, friends, colleagues, family members, loved ones. Go for partying sometime. Take time to sit out with people, discuss, okay, raise some topics, discuss, contribute in discussions, in the topics that are being raised. If you do that, it will help you to let go or offload some. If you're feeling so overwhelmed with stress, therapist, it's not anything from your end. Network, I don't know if it's because it's far, I don't know. I don't know. The sign is here, but it's. Yes, I have. Okay, so when you engage, when you go out and then sit out with other family members, loved ones, colleagues, it helps you to, it helps to burden or some negative thoughts you have in you. So it is essential that from time to time you learn to take yourself out, okay? Learn to communicate, connect with others, connect with friends, connect with loved ones, connect with your pals, connect with maybe a therapist if you know that the stress is more the stress threshold is becoming or becoming overwhelming. If you are getting too stressed, please endeavor to seek the help of a therapist. Don't be alone. Don't die in silence. If the stress, something is bothering you and it's getting too much, endeavor to speak to someone, speak to a health personnel, speak to a therapist, okay, that will help to counsel you. And if you know that if you're becoming too bored and depressed as a result of too much of stress, maybe there are some challenges that you're facing, and is giving you much of concern, and depression want to cripple in order to save your mental health, speak to someone. Okay, open up to a friend, look for one you can confine on. If it's a medical personnel, a therapist, somebody that a friend, confine in somebody, connect with people. Okay, build connections. Okay, not only on social media. Most times social media, when you come online, there are some things that will make you laugh. There are also some things that when you come online, it will remind you of where you used to be or the challenges you're facing, and by so doing it will rather increase your depression. So when you are feeling so overwhelmed with a lot of stress, and it's getting too much to the point that it's about to break you down, please speak to someone, connect with people, a therapist, okay, and they should seek social support, and make your complaint to them to help you. Okay, so the next point is take break where necessary. Take a break. Okay, where necessary, endeavor to take break. And when you still don't connect, or is it disconnected from my own end? Mm. Okay, so we are back now. Okay, so we are back now. Yeah, it's on. Mm. Are you there? Is someone there with me? Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. How do you manage stress? Have you been stressed? Have you been stressed? Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. How to manage stress. If you have been stressed before, let's talk stress. If you have been stressed before, let's talk. Okay. Hello. Welcome, 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 welcome to live chat with Nurse Bob T. So the question is, have you been stressed? If you have been stressed, how were you able to manage the stress? How were you able to manage stress? Let's talk. Let me know your view. I don't think there's anyone that has not been stressed before. Probably your case might be different. Maybe you might not be stressed before, but if you have been stressed, I know that for humans, there's no human on earth that doesn't encounter stress in one way or the other. Even hello, sis. Hello, Biobella Wise. Welcome to live chat with Nurse Bob T. Good to have you here, sis. How are you? Okay, so our question is, have you been, I'm just passing by. Okay, oh no wahala. Okay, let me just wave. Bye. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, good to have you here. I'm glad to have you here, sis. Okay, so have you been stressed? How were you able to manage stress? And we've talked a lot of things. Hello, 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 sir. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Live Chat with Nesbog T. Have you been stressed? It's all right. No wahala. So if you have been stressed, how are you able to manage your stress? That is what we are talking about. And I said, as human, stress is inevitable. You cannot say that as human you have not encountered stress or you have not gone through stress before. Stress is Manga. Oh, Magal. Wow, Magal. Hello, Magal. Hello, welcome, Magal. How are you doing? It's been a long time, Magal. How are you? Good to have you here. Happy New Year. I'm not sure we've seen this year, Magal. I've actually not seen you this year. I'm not sure. How are you doing? How is your country today? So, Magal, have you been stressed before? That is a question. Have you been stressed before? If you have been stressed, how do you manage? How are you able to come out of it? And I've mentioned a lot of things. One of the ways to cope with stress or to manage stress is one, to breathe, practice deep breathing exercise. Please endeavor to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. Like this video, okay? Double tap on your screen to like my video if you haven't done that already, okay? Now, I said one of the way to practice to handle stress is by getting from Nigeria. I'm streaming live from Nigeria, okay? I'm in Nigeria, Magal. I thought you know that now. You've been my person. Okay, so one of the ways to thank you so much for the like, okay? Thank you for double tapping, okay? So one of the way to practice, to manage stress is by taking a deep breathing exercise, engage in deep breathing exercise, and find time to relax, okay? So relax occasionally to help to calm your stress. Then get moving, involve in exercise. That's the second point. Involve in exercise periodically. Any engage in little exercise, stretching, walking, jogging, okay, anything that you know, any little exercise will help to release endorphins, which are natural stress boosters, okay. And yes, I know you're from India, Maga. I know you're from India. Welcome. I'm streaming from Nigeria, okay. So when you engage in exercise, it will help to um, it will help to boost the release of endorphin, which is the natural boosters, okay. They are all natural stress boosters, okay. So when you engage in exercise, it will help to boost stress and also to relax your muscles. Remember, while you're also doing exercise helps to um it helps in adequate blood circulation, it helps in relaxation of your muscles, it helps to get rid of some bone related health issues, okay. So exercise is very very good in terms of managing your stress. Adimi, you're trying to, maybe you're having a whole lot of workload, and you stand a lot, like when I was working in a pediatric in intensive care unit, pediatric intensive care unit, okay. When you get to work, because of how busy the place is, you always stand for a longer time, and this standing exposes you the whole lot of straining your muscles, straining your nerves, and most times by the time you close and get back to the house, your entire body will be so hot, your legs will be wobbling, to stand will be a problem. So at that time, the first thing I do, I don't even mind food, is just to stretch, lie down on the floor, stretch my legs, okay. So when you engage in exercises, it will help to release endorphin, which are natural stress boosters. And when you do this, it will help to relax your nerves. And then the third point is prioritize self-care. And I said you matter a lot to yourself. You are the first person and the best person that can care for yourself. So from time to time, give yourself that care, that love that you desire. You don't have to wait for people to give it to you. Give to yourself. Prioritize self-care, your own self-care. You matter a lot, because if anything happens to you, you're gone, and the next person, nobody can stand to replace you. You are irreplaceable. So get that into your mind, that you're irreplaceable. So as such, anything that exposes you to stress, you need to know how to manage your stress properly in order to stay fit and to stay healthy, okay. So stress is not good. When the stress becomes so, when it becomes so much on humans, it affects your mental status. Some persons, because of stress, maybe from work or from family, maybe a married woman, family mother, a married woman with family trying to meet up with house chores and all that, it exposes the person to a whole lot of stress, and some persons doesn't know how to cope with them, and it breaks them down. Some persons run into depression, and why some from the depression, it affects their mental state. Okay, so don't let stress, too much of stress, affects your mental state. Don't let stress break you down. What you should be able to do, I think that will be the next point. Prioritize self-care. When you prioritize, the next point I'm going to bring it to you. Prioritize self-care. Okay, prioritize self-care. When you prioritize self-care, is going to help you a lot to stay fit. Do those things that you know that gives you joy. Okay, if it's listening to music, dancing, jogging, going for partying, going for family outing, gathering, get together, if you know those things that gives you joy, swimming, prioritize them. Self-care is very, very important, and when you engage in those stuff, it will help to relax your nerves. It will help you to take away your mindset from some things that is not supposed to be, some things that is bothering you. It will help to realign your thinking and your mental, your perspective towards issues. Okay, so the next point is connect with others. Connect with others. That is the fourth one. Connect with others, family, friends, therapists. When the stress is becoming too much, please endeavor to consult a therapist, meet a social support that can help you, coach you how to gradually come out of stress. So connect with friends, connect with others, build connections, build establish contact with friends, colleagues, and others, so that it will help you to, okay, help you to stay fit. Then the next thing is, the next point, the fifth one is learn to identify what exposes you to stress. Very important. What are the things that exposes you to stress? What are the lifestyle? What are the things you do? Is it your place of work? Is it overtime? What are the things that exposes you to stress? Endeavor to identify them. And when you identify them, you'll be able to know how to cope with that particular thing. If it's too much of work or overtime, you'll be able to know, this overtime is not good for me. Let me cut out overtime from my schedule so that I can have my sanity intact. Yes, when I was much younger as a junior nurse, I love my peace. I love my space. I love my rest. I don't like anything stress. Okay, because you wouldn't like me when I'm stressed. So I was working in a construction company as a nurse there. But what one thing I don't do, even though I was young then, living alone, at least I have myself to myself. Let me use that word. I have myself to myself, okay, because I was living alone. So I do things on my own. But what happened is that in my place of work, we normally have this periodic um overtime shift. It's a construction company. So anytime we have overtime, there will always be a nurse in the site clinic that will be there in case of emergency, so that you can attend to the person. So from time to time, they will always keep somebody doing the overtime work. And we also rotate it among we nurses, because everybody wants that extra pay. Everybody wants that overtime added to your shift. Overtime, we all like money, want good pay. And that overtime attracts extra pay, extra work extra timing, okay, extra booking. It add extra hour to your time sheet. And extra hour is synonymous to extra pay. So from time to time, they will always call one nurse to the other. If it's your turn this week, the next week will be another nurse. But one thing I don't do as a young girl then, because I like my space, I like my mental health to be intact. So I don't compromise my time. I don't involve in extra. So my colleagues know me that whenever it's my turn for that overtime shift, I will never say. So everybody lobby for my own turn. Whenever it's my time, everybody say, Priye, Nurse Priye, I will do your overtime. Nurse Priye, I will do your overtime, because they know I will never do it. So anything that you know that stresses you, identify what are the things that you don't like, what are the things that exposes you to stress, what are the things that's affecting your mental health, what are the things that are leading to breakdown physically. Because when too much of stress helps to, it breaks down your immunity and exposes you to a lot of health challenges. So what are the things that is breaking you down? What are the things that stresses you? Identify those things that exposes you to stress, and then able to handle them. If it's extra time, then do away with it. If it's going to market at a time, buying things in bulk, and you know that carrying them along, especially if you're not driving, exposes you to too much of stress, what should you do? Go cut them bit by bit. You can go to the market twice instead of going to market to buy a whole lot of things at the same time. And if you know that you have so many house chores and so many things, whenever you have so many house chores, it exposes you to stress. What should you do? Learn to prioritize them. Learn to organize or to schedule. I will do this today. Within 2 hours, I will be able to do this. Within 3 hours, I'll be able to do this. And okay, on Monday, I will be able to carry out this one. On Tuesday, I'm going to cook. On Thursday, I'm going to do some laundry. On Friday, I'm going to do some clean up in the house. By prioritizing these things, it will help to save you your sanity. Okay, it will help to save you or to keep you away from stress. But when you want to carry everything along, you want to do everything the same day, you want to do everything, you want to do cooking, you want for shopping, you want for cooking, you want for laundry, you want to do some cleanup in the house, and you carry everything along, you want to do all of them the same day, you will break down definitely. So learn to know what stresses you, prioritize them, make them reduce the workload by yourself, because you matter a lot. Yourself, you are the best person that can take care of yourself. So if you don't prioritize with your activities, you will break down. Let me tell you, as a person, whether a man or woman, the people you're hustling for, your parents you're running around for, the man or the woman, your husband, your children, you're trying to make ends meet. As such, you want to beat up everything. Okay, you want to get all the things to make them comfortable. If anything happens to them, you die. Life continues. In case you don't know that, life continues. So you shouldn't be running around killing yourself because you want to make some persons happy, and as such, you want to do everything the same time. That is so wrong of you. Prioritize yourself. You are the most important person. You are the best person that can take care of yourself. Nobody else can. So identify those things that exposes you to stress. Okay, identify what causes stress, what poses stress on you. Identify them, and then prioritize them and do away with it. Especially, like I said earlier, that stress is inevitable. Stress indeed is inevitable. So anything that you need to do to keep you healthy, to keep your mental state healthy, to keep you at alert, and to reduce some stress, please endeavor to do that. Don't expose yourself to too much of stress. Okay, thing you should do in order to manage your stress is to take learn to take short breaks through the day to recharge and refocus. Very, very important. Take a break where necessary. Take a break where necessary. Most times people fall down and die, people slump, exposing themselves to maybe they come up with a paralysis and all that. Most times, like in my country, Nigeria, most times we see them to be arrow. Sometimes it's lack of rest. Lack of rest can break you. Lack of rest can break you. Stress can break you down. So you need to prioritize your mental health, prioritize your rest over every other thing. Your rest is very important. If you don't find time to rest, someday your body will choose for you when you are supposed to rest and you wouldn't like it. Okay, so endeavor to prioritize your rest over every other thing. When you are healthy, every other thing will fall in place. It is somebody that's alive and healthy that can actually run around to make more money. If you are not healthy, then you cannot pursue money. You cannot stand for it. Okay? So learn to take break in between. Most times some persons, they even trade their break time for extra pay. They will cease to go for break and will prefer to be paid for that time, but it is yourself, you're harming yourself, because health is wealth. If you don't have health intact, you cannot pursue wealth. It's until you are healthy that you can think of money, you can think of wealth. So money is important, but money is not everything. Your health is everything. Your health is much more important than the money you are looking for. Okay, so the next thing you should do to in order to manage rest is get enough of sleep. Yes, enough of sleep. Sleep is paramount. Sleep is essential if you have to manage stress. Sleep is very, very important. So aim for six, aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. This will help your body and will help to relax your body and also recharge your mind. I said in my effect of stress on human that stress helps you to lose focus. It helps you to lose concentration. It helps to lose um, it helps it to exposes you to a lot of health challenges. It helps to break down your immunity. That is the effect of stress. I have that on my playlist. So aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. This will help your body to relax your mind, relax your nerves, relax your muscle, and will help you to recharge again for the next day. But some person don sleep till 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then 6 a.m., 6 a.m., you're off, you're ready for work again. That is too short of a time. You're not giving yourself much of rest. You're depriving yourself of sleep, and depriving the brain of adequate sleep will affect your brain cells, and that is one way in which people get exposed to depression and mental health issues. So and aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night in order to recharge, in order to refocus, in order to remain vibrant and while looking for solutions to other things you can. Okay, because when you are stressed, you cannot think straight, you cannot profile solutions. But when you sleep, your mind, your brain cells will be calm. It will help you to recharge, it will help to reprogram your mind and help you to stay active again for the next move. Now learn to say no. Very, very important. Like I said earlier, identify those things that gives you stress. Identify those things that exposes you to stress and get rid of them. And I'm here saying that learn to say no. So set boundaries. What are the things that you come to realize that exposes you to stress? There are some habits, schedule, that exposes you to too much of stress. Identify And once you identify them, get rid of them. Set boundaries. If you have to work in such environment, then prioritize how you do your work. Remember, your sanity is very, very important. Your mental state is very, very important. So set boundaries. Set healthy boundaries, not just other boundaries. Healthy boundaries, and prioritize your own need over every other thing. Set healthy boundaries in order to manage stress. Set healthy boundaries if you have to manage stress properly. Healthy boundaries, and prioritize your own need. You matter a lot. You are the most important person on earth. So you have to prioritize your own well-being, your own mental status, your own mental health, your own general well-being should be a top priority. So set boundaries. Those things that you know that is affecting you, that is exposing you to stress, those things that is breaking you down, identify them. Like I said earlier, identify those things that exposes you to stress. And when you identify them, endeavor to set boundaries. Healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries. And by setting healthy boundaries, you'll be able to stay fit and prepare for the next day. See, when it comes to managing stress, don't compromise, because anything that exposes you to stress that you compromise, it is your own health you're putting in danger. I remember when I was working still in pediatric special care baby unit, neonatal intensive care unit. Okay, because of how hard working I was made a charge nurse in that department. Actually, we run shift morning, we run 3 shifts, morning, afternoon, and night duty. Okay, but because of how punctual I was and how dedicated and committed I was to my work, I was asked to be the charge nurse. And being the charge nurse will make me to be running only morning shifts. Imagine running morning shift when you get to the house, and how hectic the place is. Most times you get to work, you don't even sit all through till closing time, and then the next day you wake up again as early as you start running back to work. You do this from Monday to Friday, you only rest Saturday and Sunday. From So you continue this way. I was doing this for months. Every Monday to Friday, morning duty. You sometime before you come back as charge nurse, you have to put things in place. Hello, can you say hello? Say hello now. Let me welcome you. Hello, 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 hello. Are you there? Say hello. Let me welcome you. So as a charge nurse, I have to go to work early, and I will close the last person because I have to put up things in order, bring out things needed for the next shift before going. So it continued this way. And I just got to realize that this thing was draining me. When you do evening shift or night shift, you have a longer days to rest. You'll be given 3 or 4 days off duty. But for morning duty, it's only Saturday and Sunday. Most times you have to go to market or to go for shopping and to prepare some things for the family on Saturday. So you wouldn't even have time to rest by the time you close for service on Sunday. So it was pulling me down. It was The weight was much on me. I don't rest enough, and that place is so hectic that when you come back, your entire body will be so weak, you'll be so exhausted, and be miserable to your family. Yes, because of how stressful. Most times you come back, you don't even think of food, you don't even have time for your family, you just go to bed. So it continues that way for long. And I got to realize that this whole thing was affecting my health. It was pulling me down, it was draining me. So what I did was to call my chief matron or my manager and inform her that this shift I'm doing, this permanent morning shift that's been given to me as a charge nurse, is actually weighing me down. It's affecting my health. So I don't want to continue because I don't have sufficient time to rest. She was like, oh, really? That but she is doing it. And I said, but me, I can't do it because we have different way of coping with stress. My stress coping mechanism might not be the same. My stress threshold might not be the same with hers. So that was how I cut off that aspect of running permanent morning duty. Okay, so for you might not be in my own case, maybe your own, you have less number of, okay, shortage of manpower in your place of work, and you have to work extra time, or you have to be doing 3 4 persons work in the office. Look at them, are they not affecting your mental health? Are they not affecting your health status? Look at them and see how you can streamline your activities. See how you can cut off some house, some job, some activities in the house. See how you can prioritize them, schedule them from different days, different timing, and different hours, because you matter a lot. So it's essential you identify what is actually exposing you to stress. Identify them, what is actually exposing you to stress, and know how you can handle them. So learn to say no, learn to set healthy boundaries, and prioritize your own need more than any other thing. If the place you're working, the stress is much on you, what should you do? Please get another job, because your health matters. If you're not alive, you cannot even do those jobs. So you have to think of your own self first. So set healthy boundaries and prioritize your own need. Your health need, the first one, then your self-care needs comes in. Okay. So think of how do you prioritize your activities or your schedule in order to be able to manage your stress properly. Okay. So stress, you don't need to let stress control you. You should be the one that controls stress. When you let stress to control you, then it becomes um, risky for your health and your general well-being. So take small steps today. After hearing this video, take small steps today to manage stress and live a happier and a healthy life. Don't let stress control you. You should be the one that will control stress. But most times we let stress control us, and when we break down, we'll be blaming witches and wizards and village people. It's not the case. It is because you don't know how to prioritize your schedule. So stress doesn't have to control you. I said it again. Take small steps today to manage your stress and live a happier and a healthier life. When you know how to manage stress, you can cope with them. Actually, you can cope with them when you know how better to manage. That is, if you have been able to identify what gives you stress, and you know how to prioritize your activities, how to isolate what causes you stress, how to set healthy boundaries, and how to connect with people around. Let me tell you this. Yesterday we actually stepped out. I actually went out with my husband yesterday, and we entered and we saw a particular lady, and a friend of hers was sitting down with her, and this lady was actually not feeling fine. She was to go to the hospital to complete her medication. So even when we entered there, we noticed this sluggish and calmness, okay, unusual calmness around her. So, but in the course of our discussion, in the course of our comment there, she started laughing. Okay, she started joking. We don't know her. We don't know both of them. We just met them for the first time because we stepped in there to pick up something. So both of them, the one that was not feeling fine, started discussing with us. You know, while we were discussing, she was laughing, laughing, and she was still exclaiming, that she's not feeling fine, or she's not feeling fine. We are making her to laugh, we are making her to laugh, and her, she's talking about the effect, as in that her headache, or she's having headache, she need to go to the hospital to take her. She was going to the hospital to take medication before she stopped by to see the friend. So in the course of our discussion, she started flowing along with us, laughing and all that. And I can tell you, before we left there, she confessed that she is now better. She is now stronger than she came. That she's now more livelier than she came to that place. That is what I'm saying, that connecting to people will help to ease you of some stress. When you laugh, gist with people, have fun, okay, talk with people, air out your view, involve in discussion, involve in different discussions with people, join in the discussion, topic involved, okay, air your own view, make your own contribution. Sit in the midst of other people, not people that drains you. I'm not talking about that, because there's some friends that drains you. There's some person that talks down on you. There's some person that brings down your morale. There are some persons that want to bring down your spirit. I'm not talking about the circle of such people. In fact, set boundaries among people, saddists, okay, negative people that brings down your mindset, that brings down your spirit, that demoralize you, people that don't see anything in you, people that everything they have to say has to do with negativity. Cut down from such people, okay. Do away with such friends. As a matter of fact, I think this is very important too. While trying to be in the midst of friends, please, not among those that you know that will drain your spirit, not the people that you know that are not interested in your well-being, not the people you know that their presence will rather bring down your spirit or bring down your morale. So in setting boundaries, also set boundaries with people that you know that they don't contribute anything to you. People that you know that anytime you sit out, anytime you hang out with them, all the things that comes out from them is negativity, trying to bring down the best in you. They don't see anything good, they don't see anything positive coming out of you, they don't see anything good around you, or anything that is good that is coming up around you. They talk you down, they don't see anything, they always pick the fault, your past mistake. See, from such people, run away. So when you're going for connections, sitting out and okay, trying to catch up with some friends and all that, avoid such circle, okay. But when you see people that will bring out the best in you, will help you to laugh, ease you of pains, I always say, there's a video I have, that laughter is a good medicine, okay. Laughter is both medicinal and therapeutic. So when you sit in the midst of people, like the case I talked about yesterday, that lady was just laughing. She was not feeling fine. She was going for her treatment, but she started laughing, laughing and laughing. And because laughter is just both medicinal and therapeutic, it helps her to ease that pain. It helps to ease that illness in her that makes her feel that she's sick. Okay, she became more livelier and smiling and smarter. Her countenance changed. That is because laughter helps to brighten your countenance. So ensure you sit or you mingle with people that bring the best in you, and not people that drains you. Because if you are stressed and you still go into the company of such people, it will rather help to bring you down the more. It will rather help to cause depression to you, than it will have even be better you sit at home listening to music, okay, watch movies, and you'll be better than going to mingle or to hang out with such people, okay. So now you have heard all about how to manage stress. Which one among this one that I've mentioned is your favorite topic? How do you manage your stress? Which of the stress management tips is for your favorite? Let me know in the comment section, okay. Now that you don't have to manage stress, what should you do? Follow these tips, practice them gradually. I know, especially if you're used to some workload, and hearing this now automatically doesn't translate to changes, but changes comes gradually. So it's one thing at a time, one step at a time. Follow one step at a time, okay. When you're not seeing, don't say there is no improvement. No, changes happen over time. Changes happen over time. So stress management, if you have to cope with it, is over time. It doesn't just happen immediately. It's a gradual process, especially if you have this chronic stress, if you are used to chronic stress, okay, getting out of it is always not easy. It's just like when you have had an habit, and that habit, you're part of it. It's difficult for you to come out of it. But first thing, you have to make up your mind. You have to make the decision to come out from this. And then secondly, put up strategy. What should I do? How do I go about this? What steps should I take? And all that. And when you do this, you'll see yourself coming out of it gradually, because it's not automatic. All right. So these are how to manage stress. Okay. I believe you have learned something new. You have learned how to manage stress. And at the end of this video, you expected to know how to manage stress. You expected to know what poses stress on you. You expected to know, to set boundaries, okay, on what causes stress. You also um expected to um engage in exercise, ensure you rest adequately, sleep when it is necessary. It's also important you connect with friends that can help to shape your mindset. So these are the ways to manage stress, okay? And by so doing, gradually you will definitely come out of stress. You definitely know how better to manage your stress in order not to break down, but to live and stay healthy. Remember, health is wealth. And if you must stay healthy, if you must live wealthy, you must stay healthy. Don't use all your resources managing health issues because of too much of stress that you expose yourself to. So endeavor to prioritize your self-care. You matter a lot. Prioritize self-care over every other thing, and you see yourself glowing from in out. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the love. Thank you for joining this live stream. Thank you for the subscription. I'm grateful. Okay, thank you so much. I'm grateful. Do have the best of the season. Do have the best of the day. Okay, thank you so much. See you again on my next video. Okay, I also encourage you visit my channel, watch other videos on my channel, other health related video for more health information. All right, so thank you so much. I'm grateful. Do have a good day. Bye.